Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. From time to time I do these types of videos in hopes of preventing people from getting scammed. In this case, the scheme I'm about to tell you today is potentially more dangerous than you just losing your money. In fact, you could also lose your health, or in a worst case scenario, even your life.
If you take prescription medications, you know the cost of those drugs has skyrocketed, leaving Western New York families scrambling to pay for them.
But there is a way for some people to save hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year, and it's right next door.
What I'm talking about today is the online pharmacies located in Canada that are targeting mostly Americans, hoping to save a few dollars on their medication costs.
Humira, and that comes like in a pen.
An injection, yeah.
Right.
For 2 of them is $1,798.
Wow. On the U.S. side, almost $4,200.
42, wow.
Without regard to what you may hear online, these Canadian pharmacies are not operating legally according to Canadian law. While you, the American consumer, are not breaking any laws ordering from them, you are taking great risks using them, and we're going to unpack what's really going on here, because the devil is always in the details, and I sincerely don't want to see anybody get hurt. After all, medications are not your typical consumer product. It's something you place inside your body, and you don't want to take chances with your health. I don't blame Americans trying to save a few bucks on their expensive medications, but I think you have a fundamental right to know the risks involved and how this essentially unregulated industry is operating. And yes, I said unregulated, as Canadian pharmacies cannot legally ship to the USA without a prescription from a licensed Canadian doctor. And in reality, many of the drugs you actually think you are purchasing from Canada are not even from the Great White North. These online pharmacies are actually using the image of Canada as a safe alternative to purchase cheap medications to fool you when these drugs are often coming from Mauritius, Turkey, and India. How do I know this? The information is buried inside their websites. Yes, the devil is in the details, folks. When your meds arrive with a nice printed label with a Canadian sticker on it, you are often being fooled into thinking your cheap medication is coming from Canada, when it is not. We'll get into this a little bit more later. So I was tipped off by an email from a fellow van dweller YouTuber, Raven in a Van I Am, about her receiving cold calls from people claiming to be in Canada attempting to sell her Viagra. Yeah, you can't make this up, folks. She has some of the phone calls up on her channel, and they are hilarious, so go check them out if you wish. This inspired me to take a deeper dive into this murky world and see how it operates in defiance of the laws here in Canada. First of all, before someone makes the comment, "Hey, I'm an American and I bought drugs in Canada, blah, blah, blah," I'm not talking about you personally coming up here and buying medications. That's always legal. Typically, if you have a licensed Canadian physician co-endorse your U.S. prescription or issue you a new one here, you're free to have it filled at any pharmacy within the same province and take your medication home with you to the USA. That's all quite straightforward. What I'm talking about here is buying medications from companies in Canada who trick you into thinking that you're buying the same medication that Canadians use when often you are not. These companies often only have a website, a telephone number, and a P.O. box as an address somewhere in Canada. They also have terms of service agreements with very sketchy clauses that will either attempt to skirt the law or limit your ability to sue them in the USA in the event you receive the wrong formulation of medications or even a counterfeit medication. It's so bad that even on the official Government of Canada website, they warn you that the majority of these companies are not trustworthy. Since I'm in Canada right now, I thought I would poke around the internet and see if there were any operating in my area. I quickly found at least 3 operating in my area of Vancouver, one each in Vancouver, Surrey, and another in Langley. I decided to focus on the company in Langley, named Northwest Pharmacy, and proceeded to check out their website. The first thing I noticed was that I was not able to access their website link via Google. I suspected that they may have been blocking Canadian IP addresses in perhaps an attempt to prevent regulators from easily investigating them. So I used a VPN network with an American IP address to fool them into letting me into their website. What I discovered was quite fascinating. A neatly organized website designed to lower your guard into buying cheap medication. The website is slick with a sterile corporate look that really sets your mind at ease to order from them. What you really don't get is the dirty details, unless you spend some time poking around. I suspect most people don't take a deep dive into their website. They just go straight to the order forms to get their meds. If you take the time to read the entire customer agreement, you will see where the problem lies. The agreement is littered with legal loopholes designed to prevent you from suing them and to trick you into buying medications from outside North America. Let's take a look at this. First of all, the agreement says that you authorize them to act as your attorney and agent to get these medications. I'm certain you can smell the problem here yourself. The agreement alludes to the fact that a secondary physician will review your medical information for free, and in the very next paragraph claims that a physician is not rendering any service to you at all, and to limit and confuse your potential liability, of course. But it gets worse. Way worse. If you have any issues, they want you to contact them in Panama. Not Panama City, Florida, Panama the country. I'm sure their customer service department will really be of assistance to you there, and I hope your Spanish isn't rusty. But wait, it gets even better. Or should I say worse? You agree that the contract of sale occurs from the place that the drugs were shipped from, which they claim could be Canada, Turkey, Mauritius, the United Kingdom, or any other country that they may select from time to time. Gee, I really hope you enjoy getting your medications from a mystery source, and enjoy trying to sue them from the jurisdiction of Mauritius, since this is where you agree that the contract of sale will be in the event that you are sent bogus drugs from that country. Of course, what would you expect from a company that has a P.O. box as an address? It appears that when you receive your medication, it will undoubtedly arrive with a nice corporate logo, often with a neat Canadian flag on the label. Do not be fooled, many of these medications are not the same as what Canadians receive and are sourced from faraway countries around the world. I'm sure many of these customers are happy and satisfied, especially since they will save themselves lots of money buying from a Canadian online pharmacy such as Northwest Pharmacy. But is it worth the risk, especially since you'll have little or no legal recourse should something go wrong? These companies are operating illegally, and I'm 100% certain that they will not want the courts or the regulating authorities to shut them down. In fact, I'm certain that they will be very angry when they see this video, but this dangerous practice has to stop. If you want cheap Canadian medication, please don't hesitate to come to Canada and get some, but don't use these companies. If you've had any issues with an illegal online Canadian pharmacy that is based in the province of British Columbia, you can register your complaints to the regulating authority here at College of Pharmacists of BC, 1765 West 8th Avenue, Suite 200, Vancouver, BC. V6J 5C6. Please post your comments and your thoughts down below.
Popular online pharmacy stopped operating today after federal investigators tracked counterfeit cancer drugs and other unapproved pharmaceuticals to the site.
They may not, Judy. The online pharmacy will shut down today. Buying personal medication overseas online is illegal and comes with possible health risks.
The cost in the United States was very prohibitive. Each month it would have cost me close to $400.
So she turned to the popular site CanadaDrugs.com to save 1/3 of the amount. But Canada Drugs shut down its website today as part of a plea deal. A federal investigation found the company imported counterfeit cancer drugs and unapproved pharmaceuticals into the United States.
I got you.